through how you can reformat your fields for when you're delivering your data to an API that, as we all know, are quite particular and want the data in exact certain ways. There are a few different scenarios that you might want this on, but two that I've got as examples today are genders and phone numbers. These are two of the more common ones that I find. For instance, if you're collecting leads from a landing page on gender or something like that, then the value that comes through might be male or female. It could be just an M, it could be just an F, it could be capitalised, it could be not capitalised. And in this example that I'm going to go through today, I'm going to say that my API just wants a capital first letter. So a capital M or a capital F in this case. Another one that we could look at is phone numbers. So whether or not you've got the country dialing code in there or just a 0. And we can have a look at how we'd go about making sure that they work fine. So what you're going to want to do is going to scroll down to your forwardings once you're in your campaign. As you can see here, I've set up a new one. And we're going to go to our mappings. I've not added the campaign fields here, so this is if it's a brand new forwarding. And I'm going to add them now. And I'm going to come over to here to our edit reformatters. You can see we've got the formatting button on each field. If I click here, it's going to bring up a modal with what's going to take you through the reformatting process. As you can see, we've got lots of different types of reformatters. Booleans for if you want a true or a false coming through. Date for if you've got a particular format that you want your date in. That's another really common one. Date time, again. Phone number as we were going through. We've also got our regex replace, which is where you can get a little bit more complicated and use a little bit of regex logic to really narrow down what you're looking for in your strings to replace them. It's quite a handy one, that. You've got a replace, which just looks for the straight string to replace for a different string, and the string reformatter, which can transform your words from uppercase, lowercase, first word lowercase, rest uppercase, first word uppercase, rest lowercase, and so on. What we're going to want to do though for this one, at first, with my priority one, we'll come back to that in a second, I'm going to search for the word male. And I'm going to replace that with an M. Do I want it to be an exact match? No, I can do, but if this comes through with male and the data's a little bit off, then it's just going to look for the word male and then replace the entire string there. And add that. We also want to make sure that we have one of the same priority for female. So we're going to look for female, and I'm going to put in an F there. So what this means is any data that comes in, I'm going to be looking in this particular field for the word male and the word female. And when I find them, replace them with just an M and replace them with just an F. Next, what we want to do is my API wants these in a capital letter. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to this string one here. And we're going to set the priority to 2 because we want to make sure that these have ran first before we replace, because if I want these in an uppercase, what I could do is I could just kill 2 birds with one stone and put a capital M or a capital F in here. But if I wanted to belt and brace it and just make sure that it's done properly, I could come to here, come to my string format and uppercase and set that as a priority of 2. Because that's going to say, make sure these 2 have run first, then run this one. Then I'm going to add that. And that's our gender reformatter done. As you can see though, we've got 3 reformatters on here. What we can do now is we can come into our phone, and if we look and we come down here, we click on phone, we can see the phone format. We can have, there's 3 different formats that we can have this. We can have as dialed in from the campaign's country, so that's in the UK for instance, it would be like 077, or 0114 for the Sheffield dialing code. We've also got the international dialing code, so that's your +44 for the UK and whatnot. Or we could even have it the international without the leading plus, because some APIs are a little bit fussy with that plus. I want to come in as international with the plus coming in. So what that's going to do is look for any number that's put through and make sure it gets the correct international format put on it based on the country of the campaign. So in this case, this one's set up in the UK. And I'm going to add that there. And I'm going to click done. And I'm going to save my changes. Then what I'm going to do is I just want to check that this is working. So I need to test it first anyway. So I could put in my test values here now, and let's just get the Databowl phone number quickly. There was a time when people knew these off by heart. There we go. So we got 014299912. So I'm going to test that. We can view the request, and what we can see here is that it stripped my mail down to just the M and capitalised it. And with the phone, it's taken off my 0, and obviously this is just a entity here. This is computer speak for a plus and a 44. There. So that's replaced the 0. So we can see that them two reformats that we put in, or 4 should I say, have actually worked perfectly, and now my API is going to be just happy with that. Now what we can do is we can, now that we know that it's working, as you know, we can map that response, and we've got the success equals true back. Just want to make sure that our response body contains that. Okay. Success with the name. I'll change my lead status to accepted once that's come through, and map that response. Confirm it's tested, and now we can start forwarding.